All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Matthew Hendricks. I'm the Senior Director of College Programming and Orientation. And I really appreciate you taking part in this summer-long series of webinars highlighting some of the resources that we have to offer from across campus here at the University of Chicago. So today's webinar is going to be about safety and security at the University of Chicago. And joining us as our speaker today, we have Janelle Marcellus. She's a police commander with the University of Chicago Police Department. And she'll be talking about some of the many safety and security initiatives that we have in place. Now, the first part of today's webinar will be a presentation, and then we will shift over to a Q&A. And in order to do that, you'll find a poll at the bottom of the screen where you'll be able to upvote questions that you'd like to see answered, and we'll answer as many questions as we possibly can during that period of time. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Janelle, and she will take us through this presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Congratulations to all of our new coming students, and we look forward to having you on campus. I'm going to pull up my presentation right now. You all can see that. So the Department of Safety and Security has several programs and resources that are available and that will help you transition as a student in UChicago. I'd like to take a moment to cover some of the umbrella of services that we offer. There we go. So the University of Chicago Department of Safety and Security really has three main areas that are student-centered. We have the campus safety, which covers our safety ambassadors and our emergency phones, which we'll cover in the next couple of slides. We have the University of Chicago Police Department, and then we also have transportation and parking. The University of Chicago contracts security authorities who are posted throughout the campus area to provide additional safety and support to the police officers on campus. Campus safety ambassadors are trained campus security authorities who are assigned to exterior locations throughout the campus area. The campus safety ambassadors' high visibility uniform, right here with the yellow, clearly identifies them as members of our campus safety team. The campus safety ambassadors are on post every day from 3:30 p.m. to 8:30 a.m. Though they do not enforce any activities, they don't have the authority to make arrests. What they do is provide safety escorts, which if you ever need a police officer or an available safety ambassador to walk you from point A to point B or provide an umbrella coverage while you get to someplace safely, they're available to do that. They provide directions. They're able to provide campus information and then also quickly contact you to UCPD and other department safety and security services. We have 380 emergency phones throughout campus. Over 100 of those phones are equipped with security cameras and call stations. So by pressing the red button on any of these phones throughout campus, it will directly connect you to our dispatch center, and an officer will respond to your location to see what you need. In 2018, the Campus Safety Division launched the UChicago Safe application. This is a free app to quickly access safety information by the tap of an icon. The Campus Safety Division and App Armor have developed this app to provide information for emergencies and to link you to safety resources. So some of the services that are provided are direct calling capabilities to not only the University of Chicago Police Department, but also to the Chicago Police Department. The mobile blue light, which is, it will send your location and calls UCPD's dispatch simultaneously. Friend walks, if you and your friend both have the UChicago Safe app, you guys could follow each other from, like, let's say the library to your residence or from building to building. And you can kind of see throughout the map, once they make it to that location safely. It also links you to additional safety resources. It gives you the ability to report a crime or to speak to our dispatch center And it also provides information for emergencies and what to do in case of an emergency. Access to transportation across campus and in the community is also available through the support services. Like I said, this is a free app. It's available on the App Store or through your Google. Transportation safety. There's frequent shuttles that are available to help you travel around campus and in the Hyde Park area. We have the UChicago Go shuttles. The university shuttles provides free daytime shuttle service around campus and also in portions of the neighboring communities. These shuttles are a safe, convenient way for all students, faculty, and staff to get around. We also have the UChicago Night Ride shuttles. This is a comprehensive nighttime shuttle service that travels throughout the campus as well as throughout the Hyde Park area. Night Ride shuttle routes are within 1 to 2 blocks of nearly every building on campus. The routes are designed with specific university destinations in mind to make traveling around campus more convenient. All college housing residence halls are designated as one of the stops on the shuttle buses. The university also partners with the Chicago Transit Authority, the CTA, to provide 3 bus routes, 171, 172, and 192. These are express routes used by campus and community members, and there are also several other CTA routes that serve our area. For specific bus routes, hours, or wait times, you can always get on to the Visit Transit Chicago or bus.uchicago.edu. The Office of Transportation and Parking also began a pilot program with Lyft. It's a ride-sharing company with the intended focus to improve sustainability and provide different transportation options for our community members. The discounted Lyft service is available to anyone within the university community through the use of a voucher code. The partnership has proved to be successful and well received amongst the university community. For those who prefer to walk, most campus classrooms, the libraries, the resident halls are all within walking distance of each other. And there's also nearby parking available close by. The University of Chicago Police Department, we have approximately 100 full-time commissioned police officers. We provide full law enforcement services. We are the only campus law enforcement agency that has dual accreditation with CALEA and IACALEA, which is the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies and the International Association of Campus Law Enforcement Administrators. We are one of the largest private police departments, and we're all trained and certified by the state of Illinois. You can program your phone with our number, 773-702-8181, and you can contact us on any campus phone by dialing 123. Our police department is located at the corner of 61st and Drexel, and you can enter on the 61st side or on the Drexel side. Our patrol area extends from 37th Street all the way to 64th, from Cottage Grove to Lakeshore Drive. You can see the screen box here. This is our campus area. So we do provide services for our campus and community members outside, not just on campus, but living and working throughout our extended patrol jurisdiction. UCPD has primary responsibility for the calls for service and crimes reported on university-owned property, and the Chicago Police Department has primary responsibility for the investigation and prosecution of crimes occurring on property not owned by the university. The University of Chicago Police Department and the Chicago Police Department work together within the UCPD's patrol coverage area. We also work with several campus partners, campus and community, and one of the main ones is the Dean on Call program, which is a collaborative effort between campus and student life and the University of Chicago Police Department. The Dean on Call is an official that's responsible for providing referrals, information, and support to students during an emergency. And they also monitor and follow up with the students to make sure that there's adequate support even after the incident passes. The university official, the Dean on Call, is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide students with support and guidance. You can reach the Dean on Call program by contacting UCPD, and then we can page out a dean who will then reach out and have further contact with you. The partnerships and some of the student resources. The University of Chicago has several systems and practices that support and care for our students and the members of our community. We quickly respond when a person or student needs help, whether it's daily life or activities. If they have a question or concern with their housing, academics, or program, we work with the Dean on Call to facilitate resources that would provide support, as well as in responsive situations, like if somebody wishes to have a well-being check on somebody, or there's a student health concern, or somebody needs to reach out to student counseling or some of the other resources on campus. A UCPD contacts the dean on call when there's a report of an incident in which a student is a victim of a crime, or if there's a concern about a student's physical or mental health or well-being. The University of Chicago Police Department has a community engagement unit, which is dedicated just for community engagement and initiatives. We work very close with the aldermen in our extended patrols jurisdiction, which include the Kenwood, Oakland, Woodlawn, and Hyde Park communities. The community relations unit does safety presentations on and off campus, provides resources for students and community members as far as like personal safety education tips, safety presentations, self-defense class, and also situational awareness classes. You can contact our community relations unit. I'm gonna go over some of the additional services that they provide in the next coming up slides by contacting 702-6008. And you can follow us on our Facebook at UCPD Crew. All members of the University of Chicago Police Department receive crisis intervention team training, and several personnel also have the advanced crisis intervention team training. This trains our officers how to interact, intervene, and safely de-escalate situations with anyone who may need a mental health evaluation. The training is completed not only by our sworn, but also by our non-sworn personnel, and it helps them understand the signs and symptoms of mental illness and co-occurring disorders. This training provides them an education on how to de-escalate individuals experiencing a behavioral health crisis, and also educates them on available community resources and diversion strategies to help provide emergency assistance when somebody is in crisis. The Department of Safety and Security also provides safety communication via C alerts, which is an emergency notification that may require some type of immediate action on your part. You're automatically enrolled with this information through the University of Chicago directory. We do ask that everybody verifies that this information is correct, and if they want to register additional numbers, they can do that at calert.uchicago.edu. The Department of Safety and Security also sends security alerts, which are messages about significant crimes that are occurring on campus or in the immediate area around campus. And these are crimes that might be a continued threat or something that is informational purposes and doesn't necessarily need an immediate action, but we want the community to be aware of what's going on. So this is sent to anybody, any university member, and anybody else who signs up to receive them. So you can always sign up to be on the listserv to receive these alerts at the link provided. We also have off-campus crime communication methods through our crime notices. So we'll send out crime bulletins, and then we also post daily on our website all the crime reports that we take, and that's updated every morning. So you can always go on there and see what's going on campus, what's going on campus, what kind of crimes we're responding to, and if there is an arrest made and information of that type. You can always do that through our website. Some additional services provided by Department of Safety and Security, or UCPD. UCPD also partners with UChicago Wellness. I'm one of the instructors. We teach mental health first aid on campus, which is an instruction on how to provide faculty, staff, and students the information on how to deal with someone that might be in crisis. So this training is open to anybody, and it teaches you how you can provide that mental health first aid until appropriate treatment and support are received, or until the crisis is resolved. We went over the emergency phones and the C alert and safety alerts. We touched over the crisis intervention teams. If you have a vehicle on campus, we provide motorist assistance. So if you lock yourself out of your vehicle, or you need a battery jump, or you have some type of car trouble, we can either help you jump your car, get you in your car, or contact your insurance company for you, or whatever AAA or resource that you might need to help you. We also do bicycle and laptop registrations. So we can register your bike with UCP and your laptop, so that if it's stolen or lost It makes it easier to recover and identify the owner so that we can get your property back to you. The safety escort program, I mentioned this a little bit when we talked about the safety ambassadors, but if you at any time don't feel comfortable or you just want an officer to walk with you from point A to point B, they could walk with you, they could follow you in your vehicle. If you don't want them to walk with you, in some situations, we can actually provide a vehicle escort. So that's an option that's available within our extended patrol jurisdiction, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We discussed the daytime and nighttime shuttles. UChicago Police Department, our lobby is considered a safe zone. So from 7 in the morning to 10 at night, if you make any type of purchases or any type of social media outlets, it provides a safe place for you to make that transaction so that you're not just meeting up with somebody that you met online, to buy a phone or to buy something. It's in our lobby where there's a police officer present. It's also used in the instances that there's like a custodial exchange or some type of situation that might need an officer to stand by. We discussed the safety mobile app and some of our community engagement programs. RAD is Rape Aggression Defense, and that's a self-defense program that's taught by our community relations unit. It teaches self-defense and then also situational awareness and how to be self-aware and put yourself in positions where you might not be subject to something happening to you. We also provide fingerprinting services. So this could be for any type of program of study or work, type of work that you have. We provide that free of charge to anybody in our campus or in our community. The Department of Safety and Security also publishes an annual fire and safety report, security and fire safety report. This can be found at securityreport.uchicago.edu. And this report includes safety-related information about our policies, our procedures, the resources and services that we provide. It also lists the crime statistics and safety tips in the report. This can be found at incidentreports.uchicago.edu. And if you go to our website, all this has links that you can connect to any of this information. Safety tips and reminders. We ask that people plan their route before you leave, especially if you're not familiar with Chicago or familiar with the area. Stay alert to who and what is happening around you. Again, it's just being self-aware and having situational awareness, not having your, talking on the phone or having your earbuds in when we should be paying attention to what's going on around us. Never leave your property unsecured or unattended. Lock your room or your residence every time you leave. Make sure that you program UCPD's phone number in your phone, 773-702-8181. And again, you can contact UCPD by dialing 123 on a campus phone, and then also uploading the UChicago Safe app. And make sure you also visit calert.uchicago.edu to make sure that your contact information is up to date so that you're receiving the C alerts and the security alerts. University of Chicago campus is a safe place, and there's a lot of services offered to you. So again, I want to say thank you, and I would love to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Janelle. Just to remind everybody, there is a Q&A button down at the bottom of your screen where you can submit questions to Janelle, and we'll go through there and try and get as many of those answered as we can. Along the way, if you see somebody's question that you're really interested in, feel free to upvote that by using the little thumbs up button in the Q&A messaging box there or text box there. So, Janelle, a couple of questions that came in before the presentation. One was, can you talk a little bit about public transit in Chicago? There are some who haven't had experience with the L or with CTA buses, and just kind of what are some general tips for that, and kind of how should students approach using that, especially since they'll have the UPass that will allow them to use any CTA bus or train?
Absolutely. So as mentioned, we have the night ride U-Go shuttle and then also the day shuttle. Suggestions is just plan your route, know where you're going beforehand. All the information is live on the transportation.uchicago.edu website. So you know if the bus is running late, what the bus might connect you to, or what line, green line, red line, yellow line, any of those that you should take. So really putting that on your phone and checking that. There's services available all through campus, all times of day, especially if you're going, within our patrol jurisdiction. But we also have shuttles that take students to the city and downtown. So just making sure that you know that the bus routes 192, 191, 172 are the CTA lines that are available and that are mostly used on campus, even to go off campus. But just really having that transportation.uchicago.edu website and checking that before you leave.
Wonderful, thank you. There was also a question about C alerts that I want to clarify. A student will need to log into the C alert system and add a parent or family phone number or email address to that system. So if a student goes to calert.uchicago.edu, they'll sign in with their CNET and password, and then they'll be able to input that parent or family phone number as well as their own. Of course, if parents do want to receive those notifications as well, you won't. If you are a parent, you won't be able to necessarily do that directly yourself. You have to have your student do it.
Correct, because they'll need to use their login information that's specific for their UChicago password and CNET.
Right. So another question that has come in here: can students purchase mace or an audio alarm device at UChicago? People are concerned about being able to purchase those in advance.
So it is not illegal to own mace, so they can't purchase it. They don't purchase it through the university. So, I mean, we do have students that carry, little personal cans of mace. It's not illegal, but yeah, you don't purchase it, through the university. Alarms, a lot of people have the key fobs, like a car that has an alarm. But also really downloading that app. I mean, it's the touch of a button connects you to UCPD. And in the 380 emergency phones located on campus, many of them have security cameras that will start recording 30 minutes or 30 seconds before you push that button. So if there's anything that, the dispatcher needs or the information to provide the police, they have that readily available.
Great. How does the student sign up for a RAD self-defense training?
So that is done through our website. We currently, due to the pandemic, haven't had an in-person class since probably February of 2020, but that is something that we're hoping to, depending on the CDC and the guidelines with the university policies, that we're hoping to start back up either, at the end of the autumn quarter or beginning of winter. But yeah, you just go to our website, UChicago, and you can sign up right there on there.
Fantastic.
It's usually like a 6-week class. It's really informative. It's part instruction, like classroom, and then there's hands-on parts of the training where we have officers that are dressed in like gear, and it shows you like how to physically protect yourself and stuff like that. It's a very good class.
So we have a number of questions that I can kind of, I think, combine into one here, which is, generally speaking, could you talk about the safety of the area around campus and what advice you have for students who are, moving around campus or in the Hyde Park neighborhood?
We have a safe campus. We have a lot of officers. We are a large police department for the area that we serve. And then we also have the support of the Chicago Police Department, which we support in our extended patrol jurisdiction. So there's a lot of police presence. We are working on some additional initiatives that will be available starting in September. So we're going to increase our safety ambassador program. So you're going to see our safety ambassadors in areas north of 55th Street, south of 61st Street. So they'll be on foot, on bike, and also in vehicles. Really, just being aware of your surroundings, planning your route before you leave. stuff like that. But we also are, partnering more with Lyft. There's going to be, students are going to be able to use 10 free Lyft rides each month on top of the services and the partnership that we already have with Lyft. And that's going to start at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and we'll go through 4 a.m. the next day. We are also exploring possible collaborations with Metra to offer lower cost ride options to members of the university community. So those are all things that are going to be forthcoming, in September.
Great. I know that we're all looking forward to those new initiatives rolling out. What are some of the typical safety issues that students may face on or off campus? What are the things that they really need to watch out for?
Really, is probably theft, leaving their property in areas that are left unattended, even in public spaces. We do have an open campus. So like in the library, if you're not in a cubicle or working on a desk, make sure that you have your laptop with you. Same with your bike, make sure that, you register your bike, especially if it's your primary means of transportation, and that you're securing it with a U-lock. You're not just leaving it in an area that's not secured. Those are really the main problems, that we see with our students.
Could you talk a little bit about the training that UCPD receives when it comes to cultural competencies, particularly when working with folks of various racial communities, ethnic communities, or the LGBTQ community?
So yeah, at UCPD, we have an annual training program. We have extensive training as part of CALIA and our accreditation. But we have implicit bias training, ethics, cultural considerations, procedural justice. So that's all part of not only when officers first come in the police academy, but we do that every year as part of our annual in-service training.
Fantastic. There's a number of questions about getting back and forth between iHouse and the main quad area. Is there a shuttle route that runs between those two? I know that the property is all university property from iHouse to the main quad. Are there any concerns that students should know about in transversing between the two?
Well, the UChicago shuttles, every resident hall is a designated stop, and the route is planned to be within a block of every building on campus. So the shuttles will take you, as close as they possibly can to, to the quad or to the closest building. So those are available UChicago day and the night shuttles. And then again, if until you're getting more comfortable with your surroundings and being in Chicago, you could always ask for an escort. That's a service that we provide. We have officers, community service officers, we have the campus safety ambassadors, all whom do that service for our students and community.
Excellent. Another question about shuttles. Do we offer a shuttle to the airports? I don't think so, do we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
No, but that may be something that's considered with the passes with the partnership with Lyft, or even with the Metra that's forthcoming. So that's definitely something that I can write down and follow up on as well.
Okay, fantastic. I know for students who are looking to come to campus from the airports, you can also sign up, book like an airport shuttle to, that can sometimes be less expensive than a cab or an Uber or a Lyft if you're paying for it out of pocket. You can also take public transit from the airport to campus. It will take a little while, but it can be done.
And I also encourage, if there's a specific situation where there's like a need, like a student really needs something, that may also be something that you could reach out to the Dean on Call, because I know that they have a lot of resources and services available that have to do with housing and transportation for specific needs of individuals. So if there's a specific concern, that's definitely something that we can connect you somebody with the Dean on Call and see what kind of advice or suggestions that they may have.
Great. Did you talk a little bit about getting back and forth from campus to the either the red line or the green line. Is it safe for students to walk back, or would you recommend buses? How would you recommend people get back and forth between the trains and campus?
So the CTA does provide that as an option if you're not comfortable. And we have students that do both. Some students, depending on where they're coming from, walk. They are within our patrol jurisdiction. So we have officers that are in those areas, but the shuttles and the CTA definitely provide that transportation.
All right. Trying to look through and see if there's anything in particular that we have missed. Do you have recommendations for securing laptops in dorms and public spaces?
In dorms and public spaces. Well, we do have the laptop registration program, which we register your computer, and then if it is taken or you misplace it and we locate it, it's easier to be identified. I would suggest keeping it in a backpack if you're in like a public place, like a lecture hall or a library, just making sure that it's nearby you. I did want to mention too that I don't know if it came up, but our officers, some are trained in crime prevention through environmental design. So if you are living off campus, at your tenure at the university, they can provide like an assessment. Maybe you have a question about what you can do, in your resident off campus to keep you safe. So that's also something that is a training that they go through, and they can provide those kind of safety and security suggestions.
Great. And could you talk about how that registration process works for laptops and things like that?
Absolutely. If you just contact our crew office, community relations unit, it's 773-702-6008. If you want to come to the police department and get it registered, that's fine. We'll even come to you. So we can register your bike and your laptop, at the same time. Again, it's free of charge. The bike, they'll put a little sticker on it with the registration number. And then with the laptops, there's like a laptop bar, and it's adhesive. There's an adhesive that goes on your computer. And when somebody tries to take that off, it says like stolen property, and it gives a number, and then that's traced through our system.
Could be very helpful for sure. One of the things that I think that we all acknowledge that has come up in the news is situations of crime, in the city of Chicago, particularly violent crime in certain areas of the city. Can you talk a little bit about the way that the university has been, responding to those situations?
Absolutely. Everyone is affected when one of our students is the victim of violence. So, the leaders at University of Chicago Police Department and the university are looking at how we can do more, with input from the campus, the community, the Chicago Police Department. That's kind of where some of these new safety initiatives came from, was during the light of recent events. So that's a continued conversation, and we are looking at ways that we can do more with input from campus and community stakeholders.
Getting around at night, I know that there are escorts and other services. What are some of the general tips and advice that you give students?
If practical, if you could ride with friends, if not practical, that's fine too. Just keep aware of your surroundings, what's going on around you, keeping your personal property close to you, knowing your route, having a phone that's on you, that's charged in case there is an emergency and you need to contact UCPD or the Chicago Police Department. And we also come out and do safety presentations specifically geared for students and specific concerns. We have safety flyers that we post on our website and through our Facebook page, and we leave them in the different resident halls. So the undergrad halls will all have them. We provided them to some of the graduate students, and they have safety suggestions for transportation, theft safety preventions, to keep yourself safe at night. But that is definitely something that, that I can share as well. But as far as, traveling, like I said, keep your belongings close to you. Don't be easily distracted, or engaged in conversations with people that you don't know. Carry your wallets in your front pocket. You could conceal, jewelry and equipment. Keep your audio players, your phones and stuff in your pockets when you're on public transportation. And, immediately report anything that's suspicious, to the driver, and then also to the police, even if it's through the UChicago Safe app.
Wonderful. A question just came in about physical campus maps for students. There are campus maps around campus, and they can also pick up a paper version either at the university's Welcome Center in Levy Hall or in the admissions office. They have some. So those are around in various places if the student needs a paper copy of that. Of course, they can also use, everything is on Google as well. So if they do have a phone, they can use that to help them to get around. Janelle, can you talk about the security that exists in the dorms? I know that there's multiple layers there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so inside each of the dorms, there's resident heads and there's resident assistants. And we have a very close relationship. We have officers that work in specific beats and are very familiar with the resident halls that are in their area. We don't have officers assigned to resident halls, but there's an officer that works that area, does a walkthrough. If there's an event in a particular resident hall, sometimes each housing will have like a different welcome party or something. An officer will always come by, say hi, introduce themselves. So they do have a, resident hall assistants and heads. There's usually a desk, so people can't just wander throughout the building without checking in with somebody at that desk first. And many of the buildings are card access, so you can't just freely walk around without having your UChicago ID that, to get in certain doors and elevators and stuff of that nature. And that's throughout campus.
Yeah, I've always found of the residence halls to be very safe because you do have, you have to scan your ID to get in the front door. You have to scan your ID to get past the front desk.
Yeah.
To use the elevators. You're right. And are there usually also security cameras, at least in the area around outside of many of the residence halls, correct?
Yes, there's actually security cameras in most of the lobbies of each of the resident halls, not in the actual housing parts, but definitely around campus, around all of the resident halls, and then in some of the vestibules and the open areas when you walk in.
Right. And just so that some of the folks know that the people who work those front desks are full-time staff members at the university, that they're not students who are doing that. So you do have somebody there 24 hours a day. Do you recommend a safe box for important documents for students who are staying in the dorms?
I will say, I've been here 10 years and I don't recall an incident where, documents or, rooms are particularly, somebody's entering it. Usually if something happens in a room, it's like a disagreement with a roommate or something. So I don't think it's a bad idea, if you have important documents, passports and stuff, just to keep them safe. But we haven't had problems with theft of those type of items, really in the past. But I think added protection is always good.
Great. I think one of the things that some students often misunderstand is the role of the Dean on Call program. They may notice that the phone number to call to access the Dean on Call is the same one for the police department and think that they're going to be just calling the police for any sort of issue that comes up. Can you talk specifically about how that program works and how it interacts with the police department?
Absolutely. It's just the reason that it goes through the University of Chicago Police Department is because we're an operation that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the Dean on Call has a university administrator who's on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we really just make that connection. If it's not a police matter, you're directly working with the dean on call without the police even having any involvement. What would happen is you would call our dispatch center, say that you would like to speak to a dean on call. They page out the dean on call, they provide you your information, and there's really no police involvement unless it's something that there's a concern for safety or some type of well-being, mental health concern. We may respond with the dean on call. And when we do go to somebody's residence, a campus, or a student's residence off campus or even on campus, they'll always be accompanying with us as well to work as, to provide support and guidance. Maybe you don't want to talk to the police, so we may be with them just in case something may happen, but they're there really as your support and your guidance while you're here at the university. That function just operates through us through the on-call system.
How does the UCPD work with the Chicago Police Department?
So we work very close with the Chicago Police Department. We attend all of their community meetings. We have joint initiatives. We patrol in our extended patrol area together. Many calls within our extended patrol, you'll have UCPD and CPD responding. Our dispatch monitors the zone, which is their radio band. So if there's something going on within our area, we're both going to be, responding to that call for service. We also, we participate with community events with the Chicago Police Department. So because we share our area of our patrol, we have a very positive working relationship.
Fantastic. When a lot of people think about safety and security, of course, they think about crime and crime prevention. But I think one of the things that sometimes people forget about is physical health. And so if you have a student who, many of the students who are participating in our webinar today will be first year students, so they'll be living on campus. If they are ill or something like that, who should they contact, or what should they do?
Well, we have the Student Counseling Center, which actually this year is going to be really awesome because it's in a new location and it's a new building. But certainly reach out. There's so many services and resources available through UChicago Wellness that will help you transition. And this is a difficult time for all of us, not only for all of you who are going to not only be new on campus, but coming out of a pandemic where we've been so isolated for so long. So there's groups, there's talk therapies, there's the counseling center, and all of that is anonymous. You can reach out to them at any time. That you might even just have a question or with anything. If you go through UChicago Wellness, there's tons of support for students that are coming into the campus for the first time.
If a student is in the city outside of the UCPD area and something happens to them, maybe, who should they call?
So they should first call the Chicago Police Department, and that's if they're outside of 37th Street to 64th, Cottage Grove to Lakeshore Drive. They can contact the Chicago Police Department, but definitely the services are still, you're still affiliated with the university. So all these resources that we've talked about, the Dean on Call program, counseling, the police department, we're still here to support you in anything that you need. But if it is a crime, you would want to make that police report with the Chicago Police Department because they have the primary authority outside of our patrol jurisdiction.
Fantastic. Well, it looks like we have gotten through all of the questions here. Oh, there's a question here about the libraries. Can you talk about safety in the library? It's not open to non-students. I can answer that part of the question. You need an ID to be able to get into the library itself. But I think a lot of students get into the library and they sort of forget that it is a public space. Could you just remind folks about some of the safety precautions while you're in the library? Yeah,
University of Chicago has some great libraries. There's several libraries throughout the campus. Just being mindful, because you just never know. If you have your laptop and your papers are up and you got to go to the bathroom, just taking that extra minute. If you're not there with somebody to say, hey, can you watch my stuff? Just making sure that it's there with you. But There is also, each of the libraries has somebody working when you walk in at the front desk. So there's also somebody that's always there. You know, our police department does walk through the library several times throughout a shift, as with many of the other buildings on campus. You'll see us just walking through, doing foot patrols, making sure that, you know, there's nothing suspicious or any, you know, suspicious persons. So, you know, always, you know, we're here to help you. So if you see us and, you know, even if you just want to talk or, you know, say, hey, something looks suspicious over there, but just really just being mindful of your belongings and making sure that they're secure and that they're not left unattended.
Excellent, thank you. Well, here's one more question that just came in. So what is the best way for students to request an escort from one campus building to another? Should they use the SAFE app or call, or what's easiest?
They could do the SAFE app, and that's just with the tap of an icon, or they can call UCPD 123 from a campus phone, or 773-702-8181 and ask for a safety escort.
Okay. All right. Whole Foods, Target, Trader Joe's. Can you talk about the safety of the area around over there?
All the students shop at all those locations. We also have a Jewel that is fairly new, maybe the last 2 years, right across from the police department. So yeah, all of those are locations. Each mentioned that there's available transportation to get you to and from. You know, and there's bike routes, walking routes to get to all those locations, and they're all fairly easy from, you know, the campus and the different ones.
All right. Then I think that is everything. Thank you so much, Janelle. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and answer all of these questions. I know that there will also be the opportunity for families to be able to ask additional questions in our upcoming Successfully Transitioning Your Student to College webinar that'll take place on September the 8th. You'll be receiving more information about that very soon. And we will have a representative from safety and security in that presentation as well. And of course, you can always contact our office, the College Programming and Orientation, at college-programming@uchicago.edu.
I'm also going to add my contact information in the chat. So anybody, you know, anytime if you need anything or you want a direct contact with the University of Chicago Police Department, you are free to reach out to me anytime. I'm available for all of you. And again, congratulations and good luck.
All right. Thank you so much, Janelle. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody out there who is attending today. It's wonderful to see so many people in our summer webinars. And thank you to Whitney and to Katie, who have been helping to facilitate these webinars all summer long. Coming up over the next couple of weeks, we still have a few more, particularly aimed at our parents and families. So as I said, be looking for that information coming soon to you as we get ready to bring everybody and convene on campus. That's coming up very, very soon. So we'll look forward to seeing you on campus. For all of those of you in the Northeast who are getting so much rain today, be safe, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.